Good afternoon to all. Today I'm here to do a presentation on design fundamentals and analysis. So, as you all know, fashion is a very important part of our life. It is important because it represents our history and helps to tell the story of the world. Fashion keeps up with the current crazes and changes that we all face so that we are ready for whatever life throws our way. In short, fashion helps us to understand ourselves better and it makes us confident, etc. So the designer I choose is Marc Jacob. The reason I choose him is because he started his career at a young age and he's a very successful designer. He's an American designer born on April 9th, 1963. He started his career at the age of 15 by designing and selling his first line handmade sweaters. He studied knitting from his grandmother and she was his role model for choosing designer as his profession. He is the best known for his grunge collection 1993. It is because it showed him as a more daring designer. And after losing his job, he started his own design company known as Jacobs Duffy Designs International Company, which was launched in 1993. And in 1994, Jacob produced his first full collection of menswear. In 1987, he was the youngest designer to have ever been awarded the Council of Fashion Designers of America's Perry Ellis Award for the new fashion talent. By the end of 2013, he had owned 285 Marc Jacobs retail shops in 60 countries. Okay, so the collection today I'm gonna show you is Fall 2021 Ready to Wear collection. So I'll start by showing you a video of the collection. Okay, so can you hear me now?
Yes, dear.
So this is this collection I showed includes 69 designs and have chosen 15 from them. So these are the pictures of the designs I have chosen. In the first one, you could see a printed jeans with a printed jacket and a printed jeans with a black snood and a cap. And the second one is similar to the first one, but instead of using a printed jacket, they used a black jacket. And the one is also similar, but instead of printed jeans, they used sky pants, white sky pants.
So instead of saying printed, it will be good to say patterned. Okay, we don't know whether it is printed. Most probably that will be woven ones. Okay, woven patterns. So it's better to use patterns. Okay.
Okay.
And the designer have used this patterns and everything to create some sort of rhythm, and most of the garments are symmetric, right? And we can find texture contrast here along with color contrast. Am I right? Texture contrast is there, color contrast is there. Yes.
And here we could see hoodie, printer hoodie, that is element present here is line, and with the printed sky pant.
Again, texture contrast, balance, color
Okay.
contrast is there, pattern is there. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And it's present in every design sculpture.
He focused
Okay.
to incorporate, he tried to incorporate most of the concepts, right?
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
symmetry, emphasis, and everything. Yes.
Most of the design is symmetrically balanced.
Yes.
And here we could see instead of a printed tee, he used a sweater, white sweater. And pattern is also present here.
When the top part is completely made of woolen or furry kind of stuff, or the trouser or the pant is made of leather or a shiny textured one, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
texture contrast.
Ma'am?
Yes, dear. Yes.
Ma'am, I didn't got what you were saying.
The middle picture, that a white t-shirt, a white sweatshirt is being worn by the model. So she is wearing a white sweatshirt along with a trouser, a loose fitted bottom, right? A
Yes,
bottom
ma'am.
pant. So the bottom pant, which is worn by the model in the second image and the third image, is kind of a glossy or a shiny one, which is most probably made of a water repellent kind of material. But when it comes to the top part, it is mostly a woolen kind of stuff or material. So there comes texture contrast. Both of the material or fabric or textile is having different texture.
Yes, ma'am. And here you can see patterns are present and texture contrast.
Yes, texture contrast is there, color contrast is there.
And balance is symmetrically balanced.
Yes.
And here also we could see a color contrast and texture contrast too. And here the color contrast, texture contrast, and it's symmetrically balanced. This is the color palette of the collection I have shown. So the most of the common color I have seen is black and white, and there are so many silhouettes present in the collection too. Okay. And these are the other colors. I hope you can see.
Okay.
And elements of design. Ma'am, should I tell this?
It's okay, dear. It's okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So just show me the slides, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so did you came across any kind of 1 minute, Ardra? Yes, so any kind of geometric shapes or organic shapes or abstract shape when you analyze this particular collection?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm doing about lines I have seen.
Yes, so the designer has used lines to represent rhythm, to show progression, right?
Yes,
the designer have used lines, thicker lines, most probably, and the yes.
And here use point too.
Points too, yes.
And the texture.
Yes, textures are also there, right?
Yes, ma'am. And principles, we could see flowing rhythm. In the video I've shown, you could see flowing rhythm.
Yes, yes. And progressive rhythm is also there.
Yes, and balance, in the designs are shown, it's most of the, the designs are shown, it's symmetrical balance is present. And I didn't see any asymmetrical balance.
Yes, most of the garments, most probably every pieces
Yes,
right?
ma'am. It's
All of
symmetrically
them.
balanced.
Yes.
And emphasis was,
Emphasis, yes. Emphasis wasn't there in the collection, right?
yes, ma'am, it wasn't there.
Hmm.
And contrast, shape, color contrast was there, present.
Yes.
And texture contrast was present.
Yes.
And color contrast value. That's it. Thank you and have a nice day.
Okay, Ardra. The content was good. The collection was a good one. It was really an interesting one, which can be used to explain elements of design and principles of design, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It was a very good collection. It's really interesting, and we could easily use this particular collection to explain all those color contrasting and shape contrast, texture contrast, everything. So it's a good collection only, and we are really sorry about the technical issue, whatever happened in between. Okay, so it's okay. The presentation was good, but as I said to a few of you, it would have been a little better if you were a little bit energetic, Ardra. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's it. And what about Nahal and Santra is pending? So we will talk about it later. And yes, so what about the topic that we discussed in the last class? What about the topics that we discussed in the last class? We started our 4th unit, which is basics of garment making. Am I right? So that is our last and final chapter in this year, in this academic session. So it's elements of garment making. We discussed about sewing machine, parts of sewing machines, right? Different types of sewing machine, lock stitch machine, chain stitch machine, and how they are different and what is the use when it comes to stitching, right? Yes, so lock stitch machines are used for stitching woven fabric or woven garments, and when it comes to chain stitch, it is mostly used for knitted garments, right? Why is it used for knitted garments? Knitted fabric, what is the major property, one of the important properties of knitted fabric or difference from
handmade? Most of the knitted fabric will be hand.
no dear, yes, we can handmade it using that knitting needles and all, but most of the ones that we use right now all are machine made. Okay, so knitted fabric can be handmade, yes, of course, just like how we can hand weave those woven fabrics, we can, right? Hand loom is there, just like automatic power loom is there. So the cheaper ones, the cheaper cotton fabric that we get in the market, it is most probably power loomed ones, and the costly ones, it is mostly hand woven ones. Just like that, knitted, in case of knitted fabrics also, knitted, hand knitted ones are there, machine knitted ones are there. But it is not like it is not like that all the knitted fabrics are hand knitted ones. Machine knitted ones are there. Okay. So the major difference between knitted fabrics and woven fabric is that I will just, okay. When it comes to woven fabric, there is 2 sets of yarns. One is a warp yarn and one is a weft yarn. Okay. And in one of the chapter we discussed, if I'm not wrong, in the second chapter, we discussed different types of weaving techniques. Am I right? Twill weaves are there, basket weaves are there, 1x1 weaves are there, satin weaves are there, right? Different types of weaves are there. And each of these types will give a different result, right? If we want a shiny or lustrous surface, or in the case of lustrous fabric and all, it is most probably sateen or satin weave, right? And when it comes to the normal loosely woven cotton fabric, it is the basket weaves or the first one. When it comes to denim or the jeans pants that we use, it's twill weave. twill woven ones. So different types of weaves are there. So when it comes to and all these patterns or effects are created by the combination of warp and weft yarns. So when it comes to woven fabric, two sets of fabrics are there, warp and weft yarns. And the process is called interlacing of yarns. The process of weaving is called interlacing of warp and weft yarns. Okay. It is interlacing of warp and weft yarns. So this is how structure of a woven fabric will look like. Okay. This is the structure of a woven fabric. So woven fabric or weaving is a process of interlacing of yarns. Interlacing of warp and weft yarns. Warp and weft yarns. So what is the speciality of how knitted fabrics are different from woven fabrics?
Interlooping.
Yes, interlooping. There is no warp and weft yarns. There is no 2 yarns. There is no 3 yarns. Weaving, knitting is just interlooping. There is only 1 yarn there. Interlooping. Yes, Sanjana, you can. Okay, so it is interlooping of yarns. Okay, interlooping of yarns. So if this is 1 yarn, just like this, we will take another loop and we will take the yarn inside. It is interlooping. So we will create 1 loop and we will take another loop through it. So that's how what is done, knitting is done. So this is the basic structure of a knitted fabric. Okay, this is how knitted fabric, the cross section of knitted fabric will look like. So there is no warp and weft yarns. It is just interlooping of yarns. Okay, knitted fabric is basically interlooping of yarns, whereas in case of woven fabric, it is interlacement of warp and weft yarns. Okay. So what is the speciality? How knitted fabrics are different from woven fabrics? So when it comes to certain properties like elasticity and everything, woven fabrics are having poor elastic property. But when it comes to knitted fabric, it is having good elasticity, right? So what about lock stitch and chain stitch? So just like how we explained woven fabrics and knitted fabrics, when it comes to lock stitch, there is 2 set of threads. Bobbin thread will be there and upper thread will be there. Yes, and they interloop. Okay, to create a stitch. When it comes to chain stitch, there is no bobbin thread. It just loop. It creates a loop. Just and the when the topper part of a chain stitch looks like ordinary stitch, the bottom part looks like a knitted structure. So that's how a chain stitch looks like. Okay. So the top part will look like this. The top part of a chain stitch will look like this, whereas the bottom part will look like this. Okay, so this is how a chain stitch will look like. What about a lock stitch? This is how a lock stitch will look like. Okay. So lock stitch is not elastic. It doesn't stretch. It doesn't have that stretchable property or elastic property. But when it comes to chain stitch, just like knitted fabrics, it is also having what? Stretchability. So it is the most suitable one when it comes to stretchable fabrics like knitted fabrics, because it will stretch along with the fabric, not like the lock stitch one. It will not stretch. Those are stable ones. They doesn't budge. Okay. So that's why chain stitches or chain stitch machines are used for stitching knitted garments, whereas lock stitch machines are used for stitching woven garments. Okay. Okay. So I hope you all are aware about those parts of sewing machine. I will share the link, video link, the one we watched in the last class. And we saw one video which explains threading the machine, right? How to thread the machine, how to connect the bobbin thread, right? Yes. So now the next video that we are going to watch, we are going to watch one more video. We do have time, right? So we will just watch a short